Okay, here we are. I'm going to show you a demonstration. It's not a scientific experiment or anything like that, but it's just a demonstration. I'm trying to give you the idea. See, here's the water. It was clear, but I had to start this over. And you see it getting darker. And that's kind of like, think of that as our air. And this is a car. And you see what it's doing to the air. But there's a lot of cars, so let's see. We'll get this going in a minute. You see that, how it is? Well, to hear people like Al Gore and stuff, you'd think there's some dark particle up in the atmosphere making heat. But you know, if you're going to talk about global warming, you need to talk about real heat values, and that's measured in BTUs. So, you can go back and see my video, Global Warming. And I've never heard anybody say this. I believe this is part of my original work. It just seems obvious to me that global warming is caused by the heat generated from bringing a bunch of dead stuff up from hell and burning it into the air. So you see it gets what it is there. And here's some photos I just wanted to show you. Here's a photo. Can you see that? Here I am at my congressman's office. I took this picture. These people are from the National Institute of Standards and Technology. That guy there tipped me off to how politics work. When I asked him, well, where's my congressman for the meeting here? He said, he's out giving a tour to contributors. So I kind of caught on, oh, you're not a contributor. Well, you're not going to get anything. Here I am. This is a... You know, I'm not good at names, so sometimes I think this is Alfred E. Newman. But he reminds me of our governor, he was, our governor was caught, I don't know if you say caught, they didn't do anything to him, taking the, I can't say bribe because it was probably completely legal, taking a political contribution for making a law for Chesapeake Oil Company. Chesapeake got mad because the other guys wanted to get in on it. It's hard to explain on a video. Here I am. There I am with the Louisiana bullet, and you can see I am showing you that's my first batch of hydrogen peroxide I made, fuel grade hydrogen peroxide. That's the cleanest fuel there is. It's on the terrorist list. If they knew I had this, somebody would probably come see me from the FBI. Here's the Louisiana bullet at Bonneville Salt Flats. And here's our M2. This is what says on the fence out there. I'm easy to find. This is my friend Louis Arrington's rocket car. This car could go over 300 miles an hour in a quarter mile on concentrated water. And here's another picture. This is Louis, my friend, one of my friends from Lifetime Friend there. So he showed me a lot of stuff, and he knew all the rocket car guys and stuff. Let's see what else I have here. Okay, and then this, I want to show you this. This is a paper I wrote for the Society of Automotive Engineers. If you can find my phone number back in the first series of videos, I'll send you one of these. If you're interested, it's the name of it's on the investigation of hydrogen peroxide as a renewable, pollution-free fuel. This is probably the most heavily vetted Society of Automotive Engineers paper ever. They didn't like me. They're a bunch of oil guys. All their sponsors are oil companies. And they didn't like the title. They didn't like the idea that I was saying it was pollution free, because they can't. No car company, oh, you know, now they're working on the fuel cell cars. Nobody's selling them, you know. You wouldn't want a hydrogen car either. But if you'll look back at Drone Target, you'll find my phone number, and I'll send you a copy of this. Everybody should read it. I think I'm going to take it down to the library and ask them to, you know, put it up. And here's my references and everything. So here's why we really do it. We didn't start out to do this because it was pollution free. We start out to do this because water's cheaper than oil. You don't have to drill in the Gulf where the water's a mile deep, or the North Sea, or 25,000 feet down in Oklahoma or West Texas. Water's everywhere, and it's actually a storage medium where you can store electrical energy in water to make it be H2O2. It's better than batteries. You don't have a bunch of dead weight that the battery has. You can actually, pound for pound, you can store at least twice the electrical energy in water as the very best battery today. So, and then plus, you don't have to wait 4 hours to charge up the car. You pour it in there like gasoline, This is the cleanest fuel there is. It can put oxygen. The primary exhaust product is for a gallon of hydrogen peroxide, 90% concentration, weighs about 11.7 pounds. About 5 pounds of that is oxygen, about 6.5 pounds is water, which compares real good to a gallon of gasoline. It takes a whole lot of air, and you still have over a gallon of water produced during the combustion process. So actually you have less water than gasoline and air. Somehow we forget that cars are running on air, and it's kind of a public thing, like the radio waves and stuff like that. And people talk about a carbon tax. If we ought to be taxing anything, we're using the air, and it's a public thing. You could buy gasoline, but we're not paying for the air. We're not paying for what we do to the air. And if you want to pollute it, you could pay a penny a pound or something to, so that's $1 for. I'm sure the government are wasted. I've seen the hearings where they lost the $9 trillion and all that. But anyway, here I want to explain to you what the EPA does. See this here? This is what the EPA does. They don't get rid of anything. They just thin it down like this. You could understand. See, it's still in there. We didn't get rid of anything. We just thinned it down. And this is the government idea, and they're trying to sell you this idea like you really did something now, but because you paid a lot for it. But car exhaust still toxic. Is there anybody out there that doesn't understand breathing car exhaust will kill you? So even my dog gets that bobblehead. Okay, so that's your lesson for today. I appreciate you watching. Thank you. This is Incognito out.